And it should be on their cameras too. So
did he threaten you or anything?
Nah, I never talked to him.
Okay. No contact with him?
Never talked to him. Thank you, Chief. Nah, I didn't get out the car. I didn't talk to him. None of that. It's just the point of harassment. People stalking you.
Does he live in your town?
Nope. No. He's one of them YouTubers that's just like, how can I say it? Jump up on adrenaline.
Okay. Would your chief have his...
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is now in deep trouble after newly surfaced body cam footage captured the moment she was arrested by federal agents. Henyard had been under investigation for quite some time, but now she's facing major allegations involving corruption and misconduct. The footage has sent shockwaves through the Dalton community, sparking outrage among residents and local leaders who have been demanding answers for months.
Just so bad, and you can tell why there's so much of a trail of incompetence and illegal activity. Those three people are not bright, and they're not even average intelligence. It's below intelligence. I think they believe what they say is great, and they're killing it, and everyone's believing what they're saying, and it's the complete opposite. Everything they say does not make sense. I mean, the way Henyard was speaking, that's a mayor, right? A mayor in...
For months, rumors had been swirling around about Tiffany Henyard, with many in the community believing it was only a matter of time before the authorities stepped in. Now, those whispers have turned into reality. According to reports, the FBI has finally made its move and taken Henyard into custody.
Chicagoland's super mayor might be going to a supermax prison very soon. The FBI issued multiple subpoenas in the last week, and now we know that a federal grand jury has been investigating Tiffany Henyard for corruption since November. I do not know what more they need to see. The residents of the town literally had a rally called Take Our Township Back last week. It won't be her first time behind bars, but unlike when she was arrested for vehicle trespass, she is now facing 22 criminal charges, and her own lawyer just dropped out because guess what? She hasn't paid her bills, and the city now owes as much as $20 million. This is what happens when people who do not earn their position of authority get access to power. If you didn't know, while she was voted mayor back in 2021, the vast majority of her income and power really comes from her position as township supervisor, where she makes over $220,000 a year. But she only has that huge salary because she inherited it with the position from the predecessor who passed away. Tiffany actually passed an incredibly shady ordinance, so if somebody defeated her in the next election, their salary would only be $25,000. So it's literally not worth it to run against her. You know it's a bad situation when the residents think the best idea is to bring in Lori Lightfoot for $400 an hour. It's so frustrating how slow the wheels of justice turn, but it feels like this story is starting to accelerate, and I hope that Dalton citizens don't have to wait much longer to see her in
Village trustees who had been openly voicing their concerns for a long time say they finally feel a sense of relief now that the FBI has stepped in, taking action, they believe, to protect both them and the community from Henyard's alleged misconduct.
Been asking for someone to come out here and save us. There have been a lot of spending, just that we're not really privy of, and we've been asking for.
The FBI's investigation into Dalton has uncovered a series of corruption allegations tied directly to Tiffany Henyard. Critics claim she mishandled village funds and was involved in illegal activities. The investigation has focused sharply on her financial dealings, the misuse of public money, and the way she operated the village, all of which have deepened Dalton's financial crisis. Now the town's residents are left to pick up the pieces as their small community faces millions of dollars in debt under her leadership.
News out of Illinois, the FBI, they raided the village of Dalton as well as Thornton Township today, dropping subpoenas amid allegations of corruption against Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. This is a story from ABC7. The FBI said, quote, agents were conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity in that particular area. They obtained personnel records, including those of police officers, as well as business records. Now, of course, the mayor of Dalton has come under a lot of criticism because of her actions. She has been ripped by many of her council members. When she came on the show here, she said, oh, she had done nothing wrong. It was all her critics Well, now this is escalated. The council also hired former Chicago mayor and former U.S. Attorney Lori Lightfoot to lead an investigation into corruption against Tiffany Henyard. There have been a number of allegations against her. One staffer said that she was sexually assaulted on a city trip to Las Vegas. You have allegations of folks not getting paid in the city. I mean, you name it. Also, people being illegally terminated, and so it's been lots and lots of drama. And again, when Henyard was on this show here, I had sources that were texting me that FBI investigators were literally talking to people as.
The controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard's time in office has also brought attention to her rocky relationship with Dalton's police department. A former police chief has come forward, claiming that Henyard misused her police security team, sending them on personal errands instead of assigning them to official duties. This allegation adds to a growing list of claims that she abused her power, using village resources for her own benefit instead of serving the public. "We needed those officers out on the street fighting crime," one critic said, but instead, several were busy chauffeuring the mayor around town. Henyard has now been labeled by critics as one of the most corrupt mayors in Dalton's history. Reports allege she intimidated trustees, silenced opposition, and removed anyone who dared to speak out against her. Many now consider Tiffany Henyard the most controversial mayor in all of America. So, who is Tiffany Henyard? She's the current mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and it seems like nearly every resident in Dalton wants her out of office. One of the biggest reasons? Her extremely controversial use of taxpayer money. For example, Henyard has a full-time personal security detail that follows her everywhere, even around town, with an estimated annual cost of $250,000. But it doesn't stop there. She reportedly uses public funds to plaster billboards with her face and name, brand government vehicles and buildings with her image, and even created a custom 2024 calendar, one that, of course, includes her own birthday. On top of all that, Henyard has made it extremely difficult for anyone to run against her. While she currently earns around $225,000 a year, she proposed that if anyone else wins the mayoral election, the salary would drop by 90%, down to just $25,000. Yet even with that drastic cut, residents are still willing to run just to get her out of office. But the damage Henyard has done goes beyond finances. It has deeply impacted lives. Survivors of her alleged misconduct are coming forward, sharing stories of intimidation, financial hardship, and feeling abandoned by village leadership. Their voices highlight the real human cost of Henyard's time in office and the lasting scars left on the Dalton community. One woman, her voice shaking but resolute, shared, "I waited 20 years. I waited 30 years. I always knew if this ever happened to me, absolutely not, I would fight for justice. Maybe it feels sudden to you, but this has been a long journey for me. I put my suffering aside, my depression aside, and prayed about whether I should sit here and tell my story. And now I'm ready." She continued, "I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for every woman who's been in my shoes. I'm fighting for the sister without a voice, for the sister who's scared, for the one who doesn't have a sister. This isn't just about me." In internal accounts, some assistants described how the mayor would multitask during serious conversations, often dismissing important concerns. One aide recalled a moment when a trip to Las Vegas was being planned, and how Henyard downplayed it as a business trip, even as the assistant, whose 31st birthday fell on that date, expressed excitement just to be near Vegas. "I work hard," she said. "Just being there would have meant something." Henyard's aggressive behavior only strengthened the public's belief that she had completely lost control, leading with zero accountability. In one explosive moment caught on camera, she lashed out, shouting, "Y'all forget I'm the leader." They want to hear from the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run. Her words didn't just sound unprofessional. To many, they confirmed what they already feared. Henyard was abusing power, not serving people. And now, even former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is speaking out, revealing new details about how Henyard misused taxpayer money during her time in office. According to Lightfoot, Funds meant to help the community were instead spent on lavish purchases, unnecessary luxuries, and risky business ventures. Critics say her reckless spending only made Dalton's financial crisis worse, all while the real needs of residents were ignored. Longtime resident Manning called Henyard's financial decisions one of the biggest failures of her time in office. And he didn't hold back. All this money, he said, on air fryers, hotels, and high-end restaurants like Ruth's Chris, Cafe Hollywood, and Hot and Juicy Crawfish, all of it paid by taxpayers because she claimed she was attending a CA conference, he continued. She even spent money at Bubba Gump Shrimp Co., bought a souvenir hat and had the nerve to wear it to a town council meeting, right when they were questioning her about her spending spree in Las Vegas. Later, when local news tried to confront her about the Vegas trip, the response was surreal. And before the clip played, the reporter warned, "This is not a show. This is not a comedy. This is real life." The reporter asked, "You didn't go to Las Vegas?" "No car," Henyard mumbled. "You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?" "Of course I do." "Were you?" "It's not paid by them." "Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?" "Any other questions?" That wasn't all. It turns out she also made a music video, with taxpayer dollars. Not even an original track. Just her singing over someone else's song, complete, with a full production team. As one shocked critic put it, this isn't a political scandal anymore. It's a legit comedy show. People are already talking about how this will make for the wildest political documentary ever made. "Look at her walking with cops like she's untouchable," one viewer said. And the crazy part? Everything we've talked about, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I could honestly do a 10-part series on Tiffany Henyard. She's not just corrupt, she's iconic in the worst way. Because at the end of the day, Henyard just does whatever she wants, and when she's questioned, she brushes it off. "I'm going to keep spending taxpayer dollars," she seems to say. "And I'm going to keep it moving." Her time as mayor of Dalton, Illinois will go down in history, remembered not for leadership, but for being plagued with accusations of corruption, financial abuse, and an unchecked ego that spiraled completely out of control.